If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
The Last of Us Part 2 is my favorite game of all time, and I do not say that lightly. Since the game's announcement in 2016, there was not a day that went by where I was not thinking about this game, and I'm not exaggerating. And in the final months of anticipation leading up to the release of the game, they were some of the most exciting times of my life. And I remember how empty I felt inside when the game was indefinitely delayed. And I remember my excitement returning when the June 19th release date was announced. I remember dodging all the leaks online, and I somehow successfully went into Part 2 completely blind, having avoided all spoilers. And I remember my heart racing, my hands literally shaking in rage, and I'm not kidding, when I saw my favorite character ever created get brutally murdered. And yet the very person who killed him would end up becoming a complex and surprisingly likable character, one that I could root for, and by the end of the game, when Ellie and her were fighting, I was muttering under my breath, begging Ellie to spare her. And believe me, I know that there are people who disagree with me a lot, but I am among the crowd that finds the storytelling in this game masterful. Ellie's journey is heart-wrenching, and the performance Ashley Johnson gives is, in my opinion, one of the best performances I've ever seen in a game, right up there with Troy Baker as Joel. This game destroys your perception of right and wrong, ultimately showing you that everybody thinks they are right. And while one person can be perceived as your entire world, that same person can be seen as a monster to somebody else. People have it wrong in their criticism. This game isn't telling you that Joel and Ellie are villains and Abby can do no wrong. This game is telling you that life, especially when revenge is involved, can get messy. The story is telling us to embrace love, empathy, to embrace forgiveness, to embrace moving forward. And while I do have a few minor flaws with this game, nothing else has ever come close to impacting me the way Part 2 did. While it is my favorite game of all time, I am not necessarily saying it is better than Part 1. That game is just as important to me. I have played it over and over again since its release, and it is probably the most special thing in the world to me in terms of a storytelling piece of art. But Part 2 is something else, and as we celebrate its release today, exactly 1 year later, sit back and truly appreciate what they did. Even if you hate the game, even if you didn't play it because you hated the leaks, we can all agree that what this game did for the industry is huge, and I cannot wait to see what Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog have in store. So thank you guys for watching. Tell me what your favorite part of this masterpiece is in the comments below, and let's celebrate The Last of Us today. I'll see you in the next video.